Yeah, I don't know why it keeps doing it really is going nuts with that brightness.
Yeah. I don't really get it.
I've never shot with this lens before, but f.8 is freaking hard to use. Wow, that camera does not like a 0.85 lens. So, I'm getting over being sick, and I feel like doing some home projects. I don't feel like filming with my iPhone. I have this little camera that I have, and a viewer sent me an f0.85 lens years and years ago. I think it's a C-mount lens, and it can technically fit on it. It doesn't fit on my Bolex. But man, that thing lets in so much light, and this camera is freaking out. I have everything on manual, but it's so much light coming into it because it's actually a really dim room right now, and the focus plane is super narrow. But that's so funny. That is so funny. This camera. Who has a 0.8 lens just sitting an f-stop 0.8 lens just sitting around? Well, the video is going to be about. I've been sick for a week, but it's going to get hot, so maybe I should stay inside and do more electronics projects over the summer. And I have a lot of things that I've gotten where I can tell it goes to something. So you don't throw it away. Keep it, save it. But I don't know what it goes to. I don't know the value of it. And it's kind of funny that I have a 0.8 lens where I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just a lens I play around with. That's a lot of light through. But there's some people out there that would pay a lot of money for a 0.8 lens. And similar with this, there's a lot of things that I come across where I have to develop a skill to be able to say, I don't know what that is, but don't throw it away. Save it. Like when I'm at the scrapyard, there's a lot of things where I kind of was a bit annoying to the guy at the scrapyard because he was like, I just scrap all these computers for the gold. And I'm like, don't scrap this one. And he's like, some people pay money for them. I don't get it. And I was like, I'll pay money for it. I'll pay you $40 for this 80s computer. Please, don't throw it away. And this is an interesting little piece because I love blue circuit boards. It has printer, interface, CPU, high ROM, and low ROM. I never could figure out what it goes to. Partly, I'm wanting to take all of the edge connector boards that I've collected since I was a little kid. This big one in this video that I have plugged into it. Well, actually, I have it around here. I got this from my childhood Radio Shack store. Not my childhood, but the one that I would go to as a kid. And I was so sad that I had magazines like Nintendo Power sitting on it, and it warped it. But I always wanted to make a Nintendo cartridge with it. Well, I'm at the point now where I could just have PCBWay or GLC PCB or whatever make a custom Nintendo cartridge. I think I would love to make a little mini computer. We have various cards that we plug into this. But at the same time, I want to be respectful of this. Because if this ended up going to a rare computer terminal or some DEC computer or something, I wouldn't want to have somebody out there like Usagi Electric who's just dying to find this backplane and needs it. I would hate to mess it up because, I might jump some wires or whatever because there's a whole bunch that aren't even used. However, it's probably not from anything, but I also have that curiosity. So the first thing I notice is on the side of the edge connectors. Definitely this was in a system that would have had longer cards and a pull tab to help pull it out because it's really, really quite stiff. On the edge connectors, it has CPH 7000-72 TST. Now that is just something specific to the part number. So that gives no real indication of what this is for. I like how it actually says backplane on it, though. Yeah, on the no like indication of what company made it. So I don't know. I just get obsessed by this kind of stuff. Printer, interface, CPU, high ROM, low ROM. So it had a printer, whatever it was, and it's narrow. So I wonder if maybe this would have been here, and you would have had room for a CRT and have a few cards. Or if it was just like a rack-mounted instrument. It was something that was ripped apart in 2015, which, if I see anything like this, I'm just like, stop! Don't take it apart. Like in 2017, I was making a nuisance of myself at an e-waste recycler that was shutting down, and they were taking apart this whole laser show system from the 80s. It was fucking cool. They had all these CRTs, it's like the post-apocalyptic inventors dashboard, but it was a real thing, and all these knobs and stuff, and it was a laser show. Like it had things to run 16mm projectors and slide shows, and then laser things, and I couldn't take it on the plane because it's like a freight item. But they were just kind of hacking it up, and I was like, man, you don't know what you have. You don't know what you have. And of course, we have our neighbor, David. He used to run a website called DeleteMyTrash.com, and he would just delete people's trash. And he's told me, because I've been teaching him, like, no, General Electric monitor top refrigerators are pretty rare. And he was like, oh, wow, we've thrown a lot of those away. It's like, ah. So I find this really fascinating. Here's some high resolution images of this for anybody wanting to make your own, if you know what this is from. Or if you want to figure out, what is this to? It's really thick and beautiful. I like this. I think I'm heading down the path of cobbling together a little 4-bit or 8-bit computer with it. We can have the CPU on my childhood card, my little Archer Electronics card. I have one more card that'll fit in. Maybe I can find some more. I would like to have you guys' opinion on, should we have relay logic in it? Should we have RAM, ROM? What kind of old chips should we integrate into this? What should it do? See, I've always thought about, I wanted to make a relay computer that had a way to interface to the XY axis of an oscilloscope. And I thought it was so smart when I was 12 years old, because I thought, oh, if you have it drawing between 4 dots, then you add like a capacitor somehow. Maybe it'll curve it depending on the capacitor, so you could draw circles with just 4 bits of information in an analog circuit. And you have a vector display. That'd be pretty rad. I wonder what kind of CPU should be used with this. Now that's another thing too. You could kind of tell what this was used for, just because the lines that are here. For instance, it seems like going from the CPU to the high ROM and low ROM, there's 26 of these bunched up wires going across. So maybe that's 24 pins for data, maybe that's 16 pins for data. There's the clock information and all sorts of things. From the CPU to the interface, I guess the interface would be buttons of some kind. Maybe this is like a CNC machine. It has a printer though. This has 7 wires going from CPU to interface up here, 3 in the middle, then like 8 here, and 5 here. And then 6 of those pins in the middle go all the way over to the printer. And then some pins go directly from the interface to the printer. So maybe the interface to printer pins would have been for some button that would have been such as auto feed if the paper jams or whatever. Maybe that would have not even been a digital thing. Maybe it would have just been putting 12 volts, 24 volts, well, 30 volts actually. 30 volts directly into the drive motor just to feed the paper through. No reason to have a CPU action with that. This is so fascinating. I have a few other little blue circuit boards, but I couldn't find them at the moment. They're in my piles of garbage. And what's also interesting is this is wire wrapped, and they so uncaringly snipped the edges off of it. Oh, actually, I just remembered, not actually wire wrapped. They have wire wrapped around these pegs. But I have some Western Digital prototype boards or something. Somebody was making some ISA boards. I got them at Halted Electronics for like $5 each, and I couldn't say no because they're kind of interesting, odd little scuzzy boards, but they're all wire wrapped. I think those might still be in Illinois. And those, there's no chance of finding drivers for those. They probably won off and they probably didn't work. Something from Silicon Valley's waste bin. But I think this would be kind of cool to build something with this. Kind of like how I just had an idea. Maybe I could make it work with my Commodore PET. Ooh, maybe I could have it like interface with stuff. Sorry. So just like how a lot of people like to have, they restore tube amps and the tubes are shown instead of hidden behind a wooden box. Heck, I have the camera sitting on my 1951 Emerson where I kind of don't want to put the chassis back into the case because it's a roundy and it's cool to have that in the corner of the apartment. Well, with this, it might be cool to build a case where it's an oak slab with a key pin, a pin pad. I have a few of those sitting around. A few from the 1970s, actually. And have it all kind of open. But it'll be like a little city of circuit boards. And I'm not afraid to have stuff going between the boards because I don't really want to modify this backplane too much. Please let me know, does this backplane seem like it's a super rare one or if it's not super rare? Let me see if I can bring it in at all. Ooh, it does not like that brightness at all. This is a lot of light for this camera. It's really grippy. I find it interesting that this has this little white peg in there. It looks like it's intentionally put in there as well. That is on the interface card. Whatever it was, they made at least 5 of them. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this fun little Saturday video and low effort because I'm still low energy because I'm still sick. But it might be a fun project. I have so much junk left over from the 1970s, a decade I never saw. But I think we can put it together into something fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and thank you very much for watching.